everyone. Welcome back to Minor Growth Workouts, a home for personal development. I am your host, Blessing Wachukwu. In today's episode, we are going to talk about 7 ways to recover from failure after doing it afraid. I know today's topic sounds somehow right. I know it does. And if you have been following, you know that this month of March, we are talking about how to overcome fear of failure. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about 7 ways to recover from failure after doing it afraid. Last week, I told us to do it afraid. How many of you did it afraid? And how many of you failed? How many of you succeeded? Okay, so if you failed, this podcast is specially made for you with love. Failure is inevitable. It's very much normal. And we already know that now. So if you have failed, I know you'll be feeling somehow lesson of mine. I growth work. I'll say I should do it afraid. I did it afraid and I still failed. Don't worry. You will recover. And when you recover, you will do it again, whether you're afraid or not. Yes. Even the most successful persons we admire, they have failed and they've recovered. So here are 7 ways to recover from failure after doing it afraid. Number 1, acknowledge your failure. Yes, acknowledge that you have failed. You know, some persons have failed, but they are still struggling with this. I have not failed. I'm not a failure. I know, right? I know how it feels. I have failed before. I know how I felt then. But you know what? If you want to recover, you have to acknowledge that you have a problem first. Yes, you have to acknowledge that you have a problem and you need medicine. And you need to take injection before you be able to recover, right? So now you have to acknowledge that you have failed. Acknowledge the failure. Shying away from it will not reverse the whole situation. Shying away from the results or from the outcome will not make everything to turn. No. So the number 1 way to recover from failure after doing it afraid is to acknowledge the failure. Accept that you have failed. Yes, accept it wholeheartedly. Now, what's the second way? Give your feelings some time to express themselves. Yes, allow your feelings to express themselves. Express yourself. If you want to cry, cry. If you need to shout, shout. If you need to eat something, you know some persons, whenever they feel sad, if they eat, they get better. If you need to eat something, maybe you're craving or something you love, or something you love taking, yes, just do. Allow your feelings to express themselves. If it's sadness, just be sad for some time. Don't deprive your feelings its rights. Yes, don't deprive your feelings their rights. If you want to be sad, allow the sadness to come. If you want to get angry, allow the anger to come. But your anger, do not sin. Remember the scriptures. If you want to cry, like I said, cry a river. But before we go to bus, cry. If you want to jump and do anything, jump. However you want to express it as somebody that has failed, please do that. Yes, please do that. Just give your feelings time to express themselves. If it's to roll on the floor, if it's to say, if I had known, just say if I had known. But remember, you still do it again. Now you have known. It's funny to me. And I know it will be funny to you, but when the video comes, it's not going to be funny, right? I know. I have faced those, and I know I'll still face them. Yet I know I will still face some things in one thing or the other, and I will still recover. It's the truth. I will still recover. Okay? Now, what's the 3rd way to recover from failure after doing it afraid? After you've given your feelings enough time to express themselves, I want you to calm down. Yes, I want you to wipe your tears. I want you to stop being angry. I want you to stop being sad. I want you to calm down. I want you to be in a reflective mood. Yes, don't Don't look for who to blame or what to blame. Don't blame yourself. You've blamed yourself before. So just calm down now. Remember, we are looking for solution. Remember, you want to recover. So don't keep blaming yourself if you want to recover. So now you've given your feelings enough time. Your feelings have expressed themselves how they want to express themselves. Analyze what went wrong. Yes. Analyze what went wrong. Analyze and discover why you failed. Why did I fail this? Is it that I did not put in enough effort? Is it that I did not do the right things I'm supposed to do? Is it that I added water before adding sugar when I'm supposed to add sugar before adding water? Just ask yourself why you failed. Analyze it. Instead of you to look for who to blame, analyze and discover why you failed. Find out why you failed. Those companies that rejected you, find out why you were rejected. Find out why you failed. Don't keep blaming them. They don't know what is good for them. One day, they'll be looking for me to cover. Life is not just imagination. Yes. So you can imagine that a company that rejected you will come 10 years later, start begging you, come and join us. And you start saying they will regret it. They will not regret it. If you are good 10 years later, they will still employ you. So analyze what went wrong. Analyze what, instead of you to start blaming them or start blaming yourself, find out what you did not do well. That's the third way to recover from failure after doing it afraid. So now, what's the fourth way to recover from failure after doing it afraid? The fourth way is to identify the things you could have done differently. Yes. Now you've analyzed what went wrong. Now you know what went wrong and you know the things you did not do well. The fourth way is to identify the things you could have done differently. I want you to write them down. Can say, oh, I would have done this or I should have done this. Just write them down because they'll serve as basis for the next time you are going. You know, I think when his failure is after doing it and he failed, that he stops. That's why you're a complete failure. Yes. So if you want to recover from failure, just identify the things you could have done differently. Things that if you were given another opportunity to do, look at the things I would do better. Yes, identify them. So what's the fifth way to recover from failure? Draw out your lessons. Yes. Draw out the lessons from the failure. Write down what you learned. Write down the ways you improve if you are given the task next time. Yes. Draw out your lessons. Write out why you failed. Like I said, you have to analyze why you failed. Yes. So just draw the lessons. Just build your success story. Build your success story. Write down, if I had done this way, it would have turned out this way. I think next time I'll do this way. Just draw out your lessons, the things you've learned from that failure, that thing you think you failed. Write down your lessons. In fact, write a book with it because people are waiting for it. People are waiting for you to fail and then you succeed and tell them your story. Then they will now have the energy to start their own. Yes. So draw out your lessons from your failure. The sixth way to recover from failure after doing it afraid is to re-strategize. Yes. Check your original plan, your original strategy. That's the first one. And I want you to re-strategize. Now you've known the things you could have done differently. I want you to draw your plans again. Write your plans again with these things you've already written down. With you've already analyzed, you know where you did wrong, you know how you improve. Now I want you to re-strategize, write new plans with these materials you have. Yes, that's another way to recover from failure. I want you to re-strategize. Just plan it. Okay, since this one did not work, I think I fixed the wrong wire. I'm not supposed to fix red before black. It should be black and green and then yellow, something like that. Re-strategize, plan it. Yes, plan it, re-strategize. Just say, okay, this is what I am going to do. Now I have known this. Now that is becoming clearer, I can now draw my plans again. Instead of it to just stay stuck and say, you know what, I have failed. I am not a success. I'll not do it again. No, I've not failed completely. Yes. Failure, like I told us when we talked about the part one, the first series of this how to overcome the fear of failure. I told us that failure, the meaning of failure is a lack of success. So if you lack success, what do? You try to gain success. Yes, you find it. So you don't say, I lack success. That's it. No. Find success, locate success, embrace success. So after re-strategizing, what's the 7th way to recover from failure after doing it afraid? Okay, the 7th way is to launch out with clearer visions. Now your vision is clearer. You failed, you've learned your lessons, you've written down, you've re-strategized. Launch out into the deep, dear Peter. Peter failed. He's a fisherman. And he toiled all night. Yes, with other fishermen. They toiled. They did not even one. It's very bad. They did not catch one. And to him, he has failed. But after the Lord Jesus used his boat to preach, and then told him, Peter, was launch out into the deep. If I was Peter, and I said, this man, what you know how to do is to preach. You're not a fisherman. The last time I checked, your father was a carpenter, not a fisherman. But Peter said, by thy word. God. Peter said, at thy word. And he launched out. So if you have failed, I want you to re-strategize. And it was Jesus that re-strategized for Peter. So Peter now launched out into the deep. And the results he got, he wasn't able to fool it. Other fishermen had to help him. So launch out. Don't give up. Don't think because you have failed that you remain where you are. No. Like I told us, the example I gave us 2 episodes ago, I said a baby that is learning how to walk will fall today. Tomorrow you see the baby standing and taking steps. So if you fall, if you fail, rise up, clean your tears, rise up, accept that you have failed, cry, clean your tears, analyze what went wrong, identify the things you do differently, look for ways to improve, look for ways to improve, not just to look for ways to improve, make sure you improve, re-strategize, and then start again, launch out into the deep. Yes, start again. Who knows, this might be the success story that everybody will be looking out for. I love you. Yes, and you know that. And I wish you success. I want this year to be a productive one for you. So if you have failed in January, if you have failed in February, I want you to pick up your bag. I want you to take up your mat and rise. I want you to take up your net and launch out again. I don't want you to dwell in self-pity. No, I don't want you to do that. So if you have watched, if you have listened to now, you are my VIP, and I love you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe. Most importantly, don't forget to drop your reviews and your comments. I want to read from you. Before I go, I had tasks for us as always. So what's our task for the day? That we just have one task for today, and our task for today is to launch out again if you have failed. Remember, I said this podcast is specifically for people that have failed after doing it afraid. I want you to start again. Yes, that's your task. I don't want you to dwell in self-pity. I don't want you to cry and keep crying. No, cry and save the tears for another time, for another thing. Okay? I love you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I wish you success. I know that you will be better. I know you will come out stronger. And I know that you know that failure is normal. Failure is not the end of the world. Failure is not the end of your life. Till I come your way next Saturday to still talk about this series. I love you. I am still your precious host, Blessing Nwachukwu. Bye.